And I was thinking, what happened to us? What happened to us humans? When we were children, we didn't have very many cares. We didn't. We were carefree. We didn't want to have nothing to do. If the grown-ups were sitting there arguing or griping and things like that, and they were focused on all this other stuff, all we wanted to do was just live our life. That's what we wanted. We wanted to live. We wanted to have fun. We wanted to play. We wanted to tune out the world, and we did pretty good at that. We did. I remember doing it. I tuned out the world. I didn't focus on all those things that grown-ups were focusing on. I didn't. I wanted to be a child. I wanted to live my life. Good morning. And I wanted to play. I'd play all day long without a care in the world. I would play outside with my friends and they would have fun. They would. I would just play in nature, just go out in nature. I know I look kind of wild. I'm all mismatched, but I was sitting thinking about it. It's nowadays, something's missing. It's like someone has turned a frequency switch, and that part of us that makes us who we are, the emotions, the caringness, the kindness, the lovingness, it's like we don't focus on that anymore. We don't focus on it. We focus on more or less what we're seeing, what we're hearing. It's like subliminal, like programming. Don't focus on the things that would make you happy. Don't focus on going outside looking at the flowers or just listening to the birds or just like doing a puzzle, reading a book, if you got even time. Don't focus on just having conversations. Don't focus on talking about your feelings or emotions and how you feel about something, especially if it has any good attributes to it. Don't focus on it. You don't need that stuff. You need to be tough. You need to be rough to make it in this world. You need to look what's going on. This is what you need to be. You need to get steered up on the inside. You need to get fired up. That's what I feel like. Because really, can you have a conversation with someone if they're not focused? It's really hard if to have a conversation with anyone nowadays, because 9 times out of 10, there's something they're going to talk about. What's wrong in the world, what's going on wrong. They're not going to talk about, what's good. I mean, if you can find someone to do that, that's really wonderful, to talk about the good things going on, how their relationships are getting better, how they got to spend time with their children, their family, their loved ones, um, how they're looking to make their life more simpler. No, it's like kind of empty. It is, and it's almost as if people are afraid to get in touch with who they are on the inside because they don't know who they are anymore. Because the world, the cares of this world, they came in and they literally like put tape over their mouth, block their ears, their eyes, so that they can no longer see, hear, speak, or even feel. They've been like numbed to the world around them because of all that the world has done to them and all that they see the world is doing, what's happening in the world. We're becoming numb to it. And when you become numb, it's that intricate part of you, that most important part of you, that essence within you, that love, that light, it becomes dimmer. It can't it can't shine bright. It can't. When the cares of this life, what's going on in the world, and the things the world tells us to focus on, you get advertisements at you after you left and right, consumerism, buy this, buy that, you want this, you want that, and you're focusing on all this materialistic things, and yet you have human beings around you, you're not interacting with them on a quality level. You can even be sitting in a room with people. You can be sitting in a funeral home with people and they're on their cell phones. Or you're sitting in a room with people and there's a TV, they're all watching TV. The TV's going, it's blaring, they're watching it and they're on their cell phone. And you may be one of those individuals, you may be wanting to have a conversation with them, but you can't. They're not even focused on you. They're focused on what's in their hand, like this. They're focused on watching the movie, the TV, or they're focused on the politics that's being shoved down your throat. Any type of negativeness, they're focused on it. And it's like you would just love to tap into that love energy, that you would just love to tap into that human on the inside, that caring, the just like, come on, please be human for a moment, please. Sometimes I think that. Where's the human being? Where's the human being that you should be able to, have a face-to-face conversation with without the human being focusing on all the stuff that's being shoved in our faces? Where is that? Where's that simple side of you that used to be there when you was a child? Where is it? Where is it? What did you do with it? Amber, honey, you try. Good morning, you all. When you lose the TV, you immediately become closer to the truth. And YouTube is replacing the TV. It is. It's replacing everything. Well, Gina, we're looking at you on here. I know you're looking at me on here. You could probably looking at me when somebody's next to you. Go watch my video later if somebody wants to have a engaging conversation with you. And why is it so hard for us to talk about how we feel on the inside? Why is it so hard to talk about feelings? We're not encouraged to talk about how we feel, our feelings. We're not, especially if they are sensitive, especially if they make us feel vulnerable, expose a part of us that's sensitive, because we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to talk about our feelings. We don't want to talk about what we like. And you might find yourself say, well, I would really like to talk about how I feel, what I'd like, but I don't even get a chance because no one wants to listen, because they want to do all the talking. It's all about them, or they're focusing on something that it does nothing for the human relationship at all. Nothing. It's the human relationship. Okay. I'm a relationship oriented person, you all. I've always been. But it's hard to have a relationship with someone when you can't get down to, you tune the world out, put everything to the side, and focus on you. What's wrong with focusing on yourself? Really? Focusing on, don't be narcissistic. We ain't got no time. No, get the narcissism out of the way. Well, I'm not talking about narcissistic people, because you can't reach a narcissistic person. You can't. I'm talking about, you have feelings that you would like to talk about. You have dreams and stuff, but it shouldn't be all one person talking. If you're having conversations with people and all this one individual is the one who does all the talking, they're the one who directs the conversation. It goes wherever they want it to go, not where you want it to go. It's like your voice is like, you don't got a voice. You don't. What has happened to people where they don't want to sit down, take the time to listen to you and let you tell them, what's going on with you, what's going on in your world and stuff. And I'm not talking about, don't sit down there and complain, 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 complain. If you're one of those people who has a conversation with someone and all you do is complain, 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 that's not a healthy conversation. And you draining people when you do it. Really. Now, there's a lot of people who do complain, and a lot of people who it's all about them. How can you have a balanced conversation? Hello, Apple Brooks, honey, Gina, honey. You all, we need to learn to how to communicate. There's a enormous communication failure. It is in relationships. I think we're not supposed to communicate on a one-to-one basis anymore. We're not supposed to know how to do it. We're not. If you look around, the family structure, it's breaking down and people aren't really talking to one another. You may have noticed throughout the years, your circle of friends who used might have been big, it's getting teeny, 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 tiny because you don't know how to communicate. And it may not be that you don't know how to communicate. It could be that those people have lost the desire to communicate because they're all focused on something else. And yet you're not focused on that because you may be sitting here thinking, am I the only human person around? Am I the only one around who still feels somewhat human and feelings matter and what I have to say matters? Because I feel like what I have to say don't matter. My feelings don't matter. You may be around people who your feelings do not matter to them and you waste your words on them. You do. I've been upstairs since I woke up. I woke up when I did that video this morning. My lips are a little chapped. I'm going to get a drink of water. You all, come on. We're not supposed to be feeling people. We're not supposed to be human like. We're not supposed to have empathy, emotions. We're supposed to be drones and clones, programmed. I feel as if that side of us is not to be nurtured. They don't want that, what makes you who you are, that spirit on the inside of you, that love at the center of your being. I'm beginning to feel that is to be shadow banned in humans. That's a big no, no, you don't do that. Well, if you don't learn how to talk with others and get those words out of your mouth, if you don't allow others to speak, and sometimes, if you're not one who can speak, we're having a conversation this morning, you all. It's kind of one way because I'm on the phone doing the talking, but you can comment. Feel free to comment. It's very difficult if you're a person who wants to have an intelligent conversation with someone, a healthy, relaxing conversation, and you just want to like, just let's talk. Let's talk about, you know, what really matters in life. Not all this other stuff, all these other distractions. Let's talk about what really matters. Because you do not want to get to that point where you lose that part of you where you can no longer sit down and just have a casual conversation and be able to, you know, talk about the good times. People don't even talk about the good times anymore. They don't. I went over to my mom's yesterday, her and Ken, and we were sitting there. And I remember years ago, my mom, when people would come over, when the cell phones started coming out, everybody's on their cell phone. My mother would say, I don't like it when people are on their cell phones. I had this one friend, they would like to have a conversation with me, not me looking at my cell phone like that. And I agree with it. No, I don't want to have a conversation with you if you got that cell phone in your hand. I do not. I know that your attention is focused solely on that cell phone. You ever been there? You probably are there. You know that you're not supposed to be talking because their attention is solely, you can say something to them, but it's going to go in one ear, or they're going to tell you to be quiet, or they're trying to focus. No, if you're going to have a conversation with someone, this is some phone etiquette. This is some conversation etiquette. Put the cell phone down. Put the tablet down. Turn the TV off. And it may be very difficult for you to sit there with no distractions. And you may feel very vulnerable when you're sitting there with somebody and you want to have that cell phone in your hand, or you want to have that TV on, or you want to have that laptop on, that tablet on. You may feel very vulnerable and you may feel very uncomfortable when you're sitting there with somebody who one on one, wanting to have a conversation with you. And if you feel uncomfortable, there's a reason you feel uncomfortable. is because you allowed these external devices, the cell phones, the TV, the tablets, everything else, to take away that part of you that actually nurtured you and helped you grow on the inside. You replaced it with something like this. You did. You tuned out the human being for the technology. That's what you've done. You gave your ear, you gave your whole mind, your attention and everything. Now, I get on the cell phone every now and then. The majority of the time I get on the cell phone, 99% of the time, I'm doing a video. I'm not on here surfing and looking at stuff. I'll do a video or I get a phone call. That's it. But other than that, I'm not on my computer. I'm not on my laptop because I'm living my life. And if I go visit someone, like Gina, what was you trying to tell us what you did out at your mom's yesterday? I did. Well, I was sitting outside, and my stepdad, he was so exhausted. I said, Man, you look really exhausted, Ken." He goes, I've been going ever since 6:30 this morning. And he is a worker, and he makes the most of his life. He had done, I don't know what he did. He even walked the bridge and stuff. And my mom was sitting outside too, but we were having a conversation. I wasn't looking at my phone or anything. It used to be years ago, I would go into my mom's house after my dad had passed, and she just wanted the TV on because she didn't like to be sitting in silence. And I get it, you all. If you feel really lonely, you don't want to sit all by yourself in silence. But when I would go over there and the TV would be up, I wouldn't stay long. I would get up and leave because the sound of the TV, the noise, it was just like, I would say, I gotta go. And she realized it. I said, Mom, I can't even hear you over the TV. And she turns the TV off now. She's been doing that for a long time, several years. She was sitting there, I laughed. She was sitting there saying, Gina, when I was 7 months pregnant with you, I weighed 123 pounds. She goes, and I remember getting on top of this roof, and her friends were around, and she was in a bikini. She was on the top of a roof dancing, and her friends below, they were laughing at us. I said, what? She said, oh, I didn't even look pregnant. I was laughing my head off because I didn't know my mother did that. My mother was a very spontaneous woman. Then she told me how she got in a fight over this with this girl over my dad. She goes, she was not going to get I wasn't going to have her chasing your dad. She got her on the ground and she was beating her up. And they had to pull her off of this young woman. They were like teenagers, like 16-year-olds. I said, oh my gosh, you all. But this was like, see, I had an actual conversation. I learned something about my mother that I didn't know. Get on the top of the roof of a house. It must have been a flat roof. I can't see her on an A-frame. Dance in a bikini when you're 7 months pregnant with Gina. I just laughed my head off. I did. I could not believe she did that. But you know, what happened? What happened to be able to talk about your memories? And some people may say, Gina, I don't have any memories. I don't have any good memories at all to look back on. Well, how about this? How about you make some memories? You still have time on this earth to make you some good memories with people you love. You do. Don't let any more moments, any more time in your life pass away because it's not going to get any simpler. You should embrace this life that you have, the time that you have. Tune that world out and make you some memories. If you don't got good memories to look back on, if you can't look back and you just like remember a time when you laughed and you had so much fun, you giggled, you want to have memories like that, or loving, intimate memories. You want to have memories like that. You do. If you've never had them, you all please, I'm telling you, make time for yourselves and your loved ones. Make times because when it's all said and done, when the time is past and the people are gone, all you have left is the memories until they get the technology to erase your memories. Make time. Make time for one another. Have some conversations that you enjoy by tuning out all the things. Put the cell phone down. turn the TV off, sit there with your children, spend one-on-one time. There's been too much division that's taken place, way too much division, too many distractions. When the cell phone came out, that was the end of it. That was the end of it. My husband, he got this thing that came out on his Words with Friends. Ever since the Word with Friends came out, that phone is in his hand. There went my communication. I used to be able to sit there in the chair. Now I'm just telling you, I drink my cup of coffee. He could have his cup of coffee and we could have conversations, but then came the technology. Then came the Word with Friends. I, rem- I remember how I felt. I thought, wow, wow. As the years went by, it was that cell phone. That cell phone. Are you somebody like that? You're too busy with that cell phone in your hand. You used to have conversations with people, but you don't, and they don't, because you got the cell phone in your hand. So now they got the cell phone in their hand. Now you're not communicating. You're all looking at your cell phones. Everybody in the house are looking at their cell phones, and now they don't talk to one another no more. They don't. Why? It's planned. It's part of the plan, and you fell for it. Technology is good. It's good. I'm using it for good. Now, there was times with this phone, I'm going to raise my hand. When I first started off doing this in I don't like my lips being dry. Hold on a second. I'm still here, you all. I don't like my lip being dry. I don't drink enough water. Okay, I'm still there. You might see a black screen, but that's the blackness of that's the darkness of non-communication. You feel like you're in the dark. You feel like you're in a big empty void because there is no communication. When you're trying to have a communication with someone, okay, I feel a little bit better. I got something on my lips. Yeah. Oh, I raised my hand in 2018 when I first started the social media. When I started taking pictures, I would sit in my chair when I wasn't working my job, and I would work the pictures that I took with my cell phone. I remember sitting there for like 4 hours nonstop. I wouldn't stop. I was like obsessed with it, obsessed getting those pictures and putting them on the Facebook. Gina, honey, what pictures are you talking about? I'm talking about all these pictures right here. I would spend my waking hours working pictures like this of these ships that I would see. I would bring them out of my photos, and I remember my children wanting to do something. I'd say, wait till I finish working this picture. Well, that's what my kids did to me with the Nintendos and stuff. We couldn't go nowhere because we had to wait till they finished their game or they would die. Their character would die, and we would find ourselves waiting. But we did spend a whole lot of time with our children. We did. But I remember I did it, sitting there working all these pictures. Let me make big icons. Let me try to see if I can make some gigantic icons you all if I can really fast. Gina, you're getting distracted. You're looking. See, I'm doing it. I'm looking at the computer and I'm trying to have a conversation with you. See, I'm doing it. It's just like that. No, Gina, honey, you can't have a conversation with somebody while you're playing on your laptop. You're absolutely right. I can't because my attention is now not focused on you. It's focused on whatever's on my screen. You see what that is? No, you all, we got to make time for one another. We really do. You got to, yeah. Yeah, the conversation, if you're around someone and you want to have a conversation, even your children, they're on their phones. And you may find yourself on your phones. You can't talk to them. They're distracted. They're always on their phone. Technology has a dark side. It has a very addictive side to it. And if you don't learn everything in moderation, you're going to get sucked into that portal. It's a portal. Whether you want to admit it or not, you're getting sucked into some type of technology like portal when you're always on there, because it's like sucking out your essence every time you find yourself there. And it's like night owls. You look at TV, you look at the computer, and you're just your screen. You can't go to sleep. It's like hypnotizing, is what it's like. Hypnotizing. No one listens anymore. They think they're so smart. Rose, it's true. Good morning, you all. Good afternoon. What did your family think when you told them about your visitors? See, I'm looking at the comments. Oftentimes, if I'm talking and I'm on a certain frame of mind, if I don't look at the comments, I can continue on my frame of mind. But if I look at the comments, then there goes my frame of mind. Um, I told maybe several family members of my visitors I have, and there wasn't much conversation about it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Not everybody in my family. My husband doesn't watch anything that I do. He doesn't. He doesn't really support me in what I do, but does it keep me going? Yeah, I keep going because he's too busy looking at his cell phone. So it's great. No, my husband, he doesn't, I don't tell him anything what I do. I don't, because he's not interested. Okay, y'all, this is the honest truth. Come on, how many of you talk to your husbands or your spouses or your wives about what you do? And they're going to listen. Or are they too busy doing what they do? Okay, are they? Yeah. So the encouragement that I get is from you all on here. And I have my son, I have my daughter, I have my brother, I have my mother. Oh, they're quite encouraging. They really are. I can talk to them if I choose to, but I don't choose to talk to my spouse about what I'm doing because I know it doesn't matter to him. So why would I want to waste my breath? Okay, why would I? I can talk about things that do matter. I can talk about, the things outside, the gardening and things like that, doing this and doing that. I can talk to him about Rosie and things, or I can sit and listen. I can do that. But really, as you get older, you're going to find out you don't have time to sit down and do those things. Your life becomes much busier because even though your children may have grown up, you've got other interests. I literally, there's so much things that I do around the house when I'm not on here. I don't sit down, and I don't have conversations either. I don't. And whenever my husband gets off of work, because he sits behind a computer in meetings all day long, he's a business consultant, so like a technology analyst. It's how he was in the military. He's trained to be that way. When he gets off there after being on those meetings all day long in that computer, spend his whole life, he'll sit in the chair, he'll pick up his phone, and he'll play the Words with Friends. And when he sits in that recliner, he goes outside, maybe picks something. He's brain dead. He's brain dead, you all. And then Rosie will come up on the recliner and she'll just lay on the footstool of it. So he relaxes. Then no, my time, you all. Yeah, I do more communication here on this cell phone when I come on here. And with my daughter, I spend a lot of time with my daughter and my son when I see them, and my parents, you all. Come on, see, everybody, communication. Your husband says he can't handle the things that are out of this world. See you all, you're not alone. I'm not alone. Come on now. You it's important to have conversations, and you may find that only the people who seem way out there is going to want to listen to somebody talk about UFOs or these like other things that's going on. The CGI, it's not real. And especially if you've got people who are caught up into politics, they don't want you to say you're falling for it. They don't want you to say, "Are you really falling for that?" No, because in their mind, it's done the effect. The media has done what it was meant to do. When you're caught up in stuff like this, when they show the things on the TV and the news articles, they are meant to elicit a certain response from all sides. And it's perfect because they fall for it. They pick up the tone of the article or what they're being shown. It brings out of them what it's programmed to bring out of them, and that's all they focus on. They don't even realize they're being brainwashed. They're being triggered to react a certain way. They don't even realize it. Don't waste your breath on somebody like that. You all don't. You're going to be wasting your breath and you're going to wear yourself out. Don't do it. Yeah, you'd rather be here. TikTok is addicting. You never had a cell phone, but your wife had one, and I tell her I never thought she would become one of them is fun. Yeah. So really, the technology, the cell phones can literally destroy your line of communication. It can. I just remember all those months, all those years sitting there. He's on his cell phone, playing words with friends. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? So I would just get up, I would go and I'd read the news, and or I'd go outside and I'd start doing stuff that I had to do around the house. I would, because no, we have reached that point in our life, and I'm being quite honest. This is the new norm. This is the new pattern of behavior. You can't change it. You can't change someone else's pattern of behavior that they've been doing for 14 years or however long it is. No, I can't tell my husband, don't play the word with friends. He's already addicted. He's down into that portal. He's addicted to him. His cell phone is with him everywhere he goes. He might be one that gets it in his head. He might be one who has it in his head, you all. No, you can't change the patterns of behavior. It's too late. And he likes to watch TV. When he goes to bed, he's got the cell phone in his hand, playing words with friends, and he's watching TV at the same time. Now, how is that possible? If you all do that, how is that possible? I don't sleep in the same room with my husband, you all. I want my own space. I want my own bed. I want to do what I want to do. I want to go to bed when I want to go to bed. If I want to come on here and do a YouTube video, I will do a YouTube video. I'll do anything. It's great. You can have your own room when you get older. You can. And a lot of women have their own room. You, your sleep is more valuable. That's right, you are. You want your own peace of mind. It's really great. It's great, you all. I know some of you have not reached that point where you don't have your own space. If you had an extra room, you'd go into it. Well, you probably find yourself sleeping on the couch because, hey, that's your space. You can sleep on your couch. You don't have to listen to that TV blaring, and or you can just lay there and you can stay awake if they're going to sleep. You all, too many years of my life, not too many, but this was my life when my husband was in the military, when we would sleep in the same bed. Every morning at 4:30, I get woke up every single morning. Or when he'd have to work mids, when they put them on the rotation, 12-hour days. And you can't get no rest because they got to get up, they got to get ready for the day. The light turns on, and you got your children to raise, and thinking, I am so tired, I need a nap. That was my life in the military. And I'll tell you what, I really like my own space now. I love it. Gina, you don't look at my face. I love it. I love it. I do. I love it. I kind of like it that he's got his own space down there when he works from home in his office. He just stays in there. And I got the full reign of the house, but I really like it when he has to go into work a few days a week because I really have the house all to myself, you all. If you're a woman and you love it, if that happens to you, isn't it a wonderful feeling? Or if you're a man and your wife's gone, you think, wow, I got the whole house to myself. And it's good to have time to yourself. It is. It's good for your relationship if you're able to get away from one another. It's right. Yeah. It's almost final, and she sleeps in the other room, not me. AMC. Let me tell you about that thing one time. One time, the one time, years and years and years ago in my marriage, we lived in Nevada. My husband and me got in an argument. It wasn't me. It was never me. Although he said it was always me whenever we would get in an argument, which it was kind of rare. But when he did, it was always my fault. And the children were little. And I wanted to sleep in my bed. I told him that he should go in there and sleep on the couch. He would not get out of that bed. Guess who ended up sleeping on the couch? I slept on the couch. You know why? I'm not going to sleep in that bed when you sitting there angry with me. No, I got up out of the bed and I slept on the couch because he refused to go into the other room. That's how stubborn and bullheaded he was. Gina, how did that make you feel? Well, I didn't like it because I wanted to sleep in my bed. I wanted him in there on that couch. I wanted him on that couch. Talking about being stubborn and bullheaded, you all. Women and men can be very stubborn and bullheaded. Each when you're young, you don't want to budge. You don't. But I did a lot of budging. I did a lot of bending. I bent and bent and bent and bent and bent and bent and bent. I still bend, but not like I used to bend. I only had to bend a little. And I do mean a little. No. Gina is not going to do all that bending that she used to do. He don't do it either, you all. You learn it's not worth it. It's not worth getting upset. It's not worth it. It's not worth it letting all those emotions get inside of you. It's not. You get to the point. It's not worth it. You just tune it out. Tune it out. One ear and out the other. It's like that. Easier said than done. It's easier said than done. That's right. You are flexible. You make it work. You make it work. What works for you, you make it work. You realize when you get older, you want your space. You want to have your own space, you all. That's right. Now, my husband loves to go outside. When he's doing yard work, he puts those headphones on. He plays music in his ear. Sometimes when he's pulling weeds, I can see him out in the garden dancing. I was thinking, you dance? You never dance with me. Oh, he won't. For you all who want me and my husband to dance, he does not dance. It makes him feel very uncomfortable to dance with me. Okay, it does. I'm just telling you it does. And there's no way I would want to dance a fast dance with my husband because I'd feel very, very, very subconscious and uncomfortable. And well, you wouldn't even be able to get him to even move a part of his body. He wouldn't. He'd feel very, very embarrassed. Okay. That's right. There's some things you just don't do. Now, I can dance on here. I can dance up here in the studio. I can do my dancing videos and do it on the YouTube. No, you're not going to see me and my husband dance because he would be very, 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 very extremely uncomfortable. And I would be very uncomfortable knowing that he's uncomfortable. So it's not happening. It's never been him. He grew up in the military. And he made this quite clear. In the military, there is no public display of affection. You don't do it. You don't. You don't do it. You don't. So that's all right. 35 years with a wife, a good dancer, but you don't dance. That's wonderful. It is wonderful. I do like to dance. I never did get to dance. I never knew how to dance. Gina, you still don't know how to dance. Can I get up there and dance if I think I'm dancing? And can I be happy and enjoy dancing? I felt free. I started feeling free enough to dance. It took me a while to learn to dance from my spirit, just let my body move. It's probably around 2014 to 2016 when I started physically, spiritually, fully breaking out of this prison on the inside of me because I was an extreme, extreme introvert. Big time. Big time. My shell was so hard and then it cracked. And then came Gina. I'm not done growing yet. I'm not, you all. You may not be growing yet too. Gina, honey, you tell way too much of your life. I probably do. Way too much. But I keep some things secret you don't need to know about. Some things are secret. That's right. That's right, A's Angel. That's right. No public display. No public display of affection in the military. You don't, that's what he would tell me. We with his uniform on, you don't do that because I guess it wasn't allowed. It wasn't. I'm just telling you, that's what I heard. Now, you got to remember, I grew up a very sheltered life. Okay. A very, very sheltered life. And I didn't know what to expect when I got married. I didn't. I was just a little girl. I was a little girl the whole of my marriage until one day I was no longer a little girl. Okay, I wasn't. Um, no PDA, but you understood. That's right. And it may seem strange to you. It may seem strange. And that's how some people are, you all. That's how some people are. I love to hug people. I really do. I like it. I love it. Gina, you don't? Oh, I do love it. At least I'm somewhat free here on the YouTube. I can be expressive. I can come over here in this pajama top with this other top. I can do it. People can come on here in their pajamas on the YouTube. That's right. It doesn't matter in the big scope of life. It doesn't. I can be me. I'm me also. I am free enough to be me. I feel comfortable enough to be me off of here, but I'm not going to dance. And no, I'm not going to dance in front of people. I'm not, because I'm kind of a little shy personally. Yeah, I'm not going to dance in front of you in physical form. I don't care who you are, unless my spirit wants to dance with you. If I feel like it in my spirit, then I'm going to dance with you because my spirit feels comfortable. It feels free. But to go spontaneously doing it, no, you got to have the right frequency, you all. You do. You got to have a mutable frequency to dance with somebody. You ain't going to be dancing with somebody who don't, I want to dance with somebody who don't want to dance with you. Now, you're not going to do it. You're not. I'm not going to do it. Because it's going to send my frequency way down, and it's not happening. Gina, quit talking about dancing. Well, dancing makes me happy. Oh, I went to one military ball, and I might remember doing a slow dance. That was it. That was it. He went to my prom with me one time. He was my date to the prom because I needed a date from the prom. I wasn't married to him. I was dating 7 guys at the time. I was afraid that one guy would find out about the other. Now, I was not a wild woman, but I thought, wow, 7 guys, and I really got scared one time because when this one guy dropped me off at my house, I thought the other guy would see his truck that drove up. This is when I was a teenager. I was a virgin when I got married, okay? I was not a promiscuous person at all. I wasn't, okay? Just so you know, I lived a sheltered life. I dated guys, okay? I remained pure to my being completely, you all. I did. Um, I did. So I entered marriage. I didn't know what to expect. I just played the role. I did my best, you all. I'm still doing my best that I can do. That's right. I was kind of like a player, but I needed a date to the prom. And he was in the military. He was stationed at Grissom Air Force Base, and I was dating him too. I'm not going to say it. I wanted to go to the prom with this other guy that I had liked, but he couldn't find there's something on my head. He couldn't find a tuxedo, so he took me. But I got to the prom, and I don't even remember dancing one dance with him. I had this friend. His name was Damone. He was in my high school. Damone was a crazy man. I liked him. He was tall and bubbly. Me and him had a lot of fun together. And he wasn't popular. I wasn't popular. But he went to the prom. And me and him got on that dance floor. And we couldn't dance, but we danced the night away. And Jonathan told me the other day, yeah. He goes, it's pretty good you invited me to the prom and you danced with somebody else. I said, well, you didn't want to get up there and fast dance, but I did. I danced with Damone, and Damone is still, my hair is so, Damone is still alive, but that, I loved that day. I had so much fun with him, and I didn't even know how to dance. And he may not have, but we giggled and we laughed, you all. We did. Damone was probably almost a foot taller than me, maybe. I can't remember, but I loved it. I did. It's fun. It's good. I graduated in 1986. And the reason I graduated in 1986, when I was real little, our family moved around a lot. They did. I remember because we moved around a lot, and I mean within months. My dad did. You want my hair is, I'm going to try to make my hair somewhat suitable. We moved to this school. We even moved to Florida when we were young. But because we moved around a whole lot in the first grade, my mother let them hold me back in the first grade because of it. So boom, no, I didn't graduate at that in 1984. I graduated in 1986 is when I did. And I did not get my driver's license until I graduated high school. I was like 19. I didn't have a car. I had to go to work, and I bought my own car. Then I got my driver's license. I still rode the bus in high school while a lot of the other people, they had their own cars and stuff, but not me. I grew up in government housing, low, very low income. So yeah, I have very humble beginnings. I do, you all. For those people say, look at the place she lives in now and whatever. Hello. You don't know where I came from. You don't. You don't know my life's history. When I say I lived in extreme poverty, I lived in extreme poverty. And I worked very hard for what I got. My husband worked very hard for what we have now. So nothing was given to us. Okay, it wasn't. So yeah, you all. That's right. We got it. It's all good, you all. That's right. Aw, Judy, honey, thank you. And really, YouTube doesn't like really long videos because you can communicate with people. You can with the long videos. It's okay. These are the best years of my life, you all. I'm become freer. I'm becoming more freer by the day within my spirit. Are you all noticing that? That you are becoming more freer in your spirit with each waking day. You're realizing what really truly matters in your life. Are you noticing that? And you're looking deep within, and you're looking around you at all the things that used to really like get your attention in life. And no, you're looking around thinking, no, no, that doesn't really matter like it used to anymore. You don't have the same things. You got to get this, you got to get that. You got to hold on to this, you got to hold on to that. No, you want to be free. See, that's like me and my daughter. I took the vacation with me and my daughter. My mother said, I am so happy that you did that. I am so happy that you and Kayla finally went out and did something. Why? Because it was spontaneous. I felt free. She felt free. It's like let the world go away. Let's be free. Let's spread our wings and fly away. And we did. We did, you all. It was quite an adventure. Loved it. Loved it. No, I'm not going to let the cares of this world, you all. I'm not going to let the things in this life bog me down anymore. I'm not. That's not me. Our time here is limited on this earth. Gina, what are you talking about? Even your husbands and wives talk to each other. I'm just messaging. See, no, see, it's all no, I want to have a face-to-face conversation with you if I can. Now, if you're over long distances and stuff, it's different. I will still enjoy your conversation, but if at all possible, y'all, let me get this. Can I get this off for a second? If at all possible, you all. Now I feel a little bit lighter. I do feel lighter in my spirit. Got that red shirt off. Jeannie, you cut this shirt. Well, I cut it wrong because when I was cutting, I cut also the back part of it, but I could wear it to bed. I want to have a face-to-face conversation with you, okay? If you enter my life, It's okay for me to talk to you on the phone. I don't want to have all my conversations through text messaging. I really don't. I'll do it, but I like to have a one-on-one, you all. I want to have a face-to-face conversation. I do, or call me on the phone. I'd like to have a phone conversation with you to where I can hear your voice because your voice has frequency. Okay, you all, pick up the phone instead of texting and call the people on the phone. You may say, Gina, I don't want to hear from certain people. Well, your voice has a frequency attached to it. Okay, it does. My voice, I know my voice has frequency attached to it. And some people like to hear my voice. They do. And I like to hear people's voices too because of the frequency. It makes me feel more connected. Good morning. Yeah. Even though it's technology, pick up the cell phone and call. Let somebody hear your voice. Okay. It's so much more personal than the texting. It is. It might even draw you closer. You might have a better relationship if you can bring yourself to the position, children and adults alike, instead of texting to your spouse and stuff. I get it. You need something, text something. You got, can you pick this up at the store while you're out? Sure, I can do that. Text. Don't be sitting across that room texting somebody. Do not do it, you all. Don't do it. It's time to dance, Gina. I don't know. It's so hard for me to find something to dance to because I don't listen to music throughout my day. I don't. I don't listen to anything throughout my day. The only, well, if I get in my vehicle, I might turn on the radio and it's to K-Love or Air One or Way FM. And I don't remember the songs that I used to like to hear when I was allowed to listen to music growing up. I wasn't allowed to listen to rock and roll or anything like that, but I did sneak and listen to some. My mother played gospel music all the time, and I'm glad she did because it's embedded in my being, and I went to church all the time. But when I'm going about my daily life, I focus on what I'm doing. I do. I used to be able to at times in the garage, if I was just straightening up my tools or something, I would put on like a Bible tape, like the book of Revelation. I almost got it memorized. I would listen to that, but I can't listen to something and focus on whatever I'm doing at the same time. I'm not that multi-talented, you. I can't multitasking with that. I don't like that. Like working on the car lights on my daughter's vehicle or things like that. No, I got to have undivided attention because I got to concentrate to where I can think. And if I got to do a workaround, if I got to figure out how am I going to make this work, I got to have all my faculties working up here. So my house is a quiet house. It's always been a quiet house, except when my kids were home and sometimes they would watch TV. And I don't know what to dance to. The last few songs that I danced to, I heard one in, well, I heard several songs when I would go to the thrift store. It would be playing on the radio. Um, and I thought, oh, I could dance to that beat. But I have a really hard time finding songs to dance to because I do everything in quietness. Yeah. Hello there from hot Phoenix, Arizona. That's right, you all. So when it's time for me to dance, I'm sure somehow I'll hear a song or I'll be drawn to a song, even though I'm not on the internet looking for them, and then I'll dance. That's how it happens. Other than that, I can't force it to happen. I don't force anything to happen. If I had to force something to happen, excuse me, my frequency is not in it. And it's not going to do you no good. It's not. And I'm going to feel bad about doing it. So you won't see me forcing myself to dance. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to force myself into any relationship. I'm not going to force a relationship on someone that they do not want with me. Are you all like that? You're not going to force yourself on a relationship that someone wants with you, that you want with them, but they don't want with you. I'm not going to do it. I'm not, because that's not right. And it's not going to last if you have to force yourself on somebody. You don't. I want it to be mutual. And, when you have a relationship, you want a relationship and you want it to be mutual. It's scary. It's scary. Why is it scary? Because we don't want to get in touch with our feelings anymore. We don't want to get in touch with our emotions. We're scared to talk about our emotions. We're scared to talk about our feelings because we're scared of rejection. People been hurt way too many times, you all. So, yeah, way too many times. People are willing to take chances, but it's scary. It's scary when you've been burnt so many times in your relationships, even friendships and stuff. You're leery. You want to back off because you don't want to get hurt anymore. You don't. And children don't want to get hurt. They don't. That's why all you have is God and Jesus. But that is enough. It's enough. But it's nice to have someone physical in your life. It really is. But for some people, it's not happening. It's not. And, social media is the next best thing. It really is. A real human being. Humans are going to be a rarity on the earth. Humans with emotions who are connected. It's a rarity. It is. And I admit to you, I do not know and I do not realize, there's no way I could ever realize the impact that I have in anyone's life by coming on here. And for the past 4 years, I really do not fully realize the impact that I have. I've been told the impact that I've had on people's lives, but it truly, I guess, I don't realize it. I realize it to an extent, but not to the extent that the person's telling me the extent. It's like when you meet somebody in your life and their life totally changed. Totally changed. Now I can say that I have met people in my life, and if I had not crossed their paths and they had not crossed my path, I would not be who I am today because our paths crossed. It totally caused something to wake up on the inside of me. Totally. It was a mile marker in my life. And I know it happens. I do. Um, oh, I am proud. I'm so very thankful because, it's reciprocated. I really get encouragement from you all. I do. I feel good when I'm able to communicate with people, even though you're texting and I'm talking. I love to. I can feel the frequency behind your text. I can. And it's more personal. Um, you knew your whole life the world was ugly and you was treated horribly, and you knew I have waited 55 years. Rose, that's a long time. It really is. Hello, Jay Jocelyn, honey. If there's any moderators on here, hello. And hello to every one of you. I just been talking. I was talking about we don't communicate anymore. And when some people do, it's a one-way conversation, or the negative takes over everything, and people don't want to hear. And it's hard to find topics that people will agree on. Well, can't we just talk about how we feel? I like to talk about it, but not if you're going to say that, not if you're going to sit and point the finger and be negative. No, I don't want to hear it because that's a one-way conversation. You're not allowing the other person to talk, you all. We've got to get in touch with our emotions. We got to get in touch with that love that's on the inside of us. It's in there somewhere. You all get it. Let it come to the surface, please. Open that door and let that love come to the surface. If you have an opportunity to let that love come to the surface, open the door. Be very careful. Just open it a little bit. Take a peek out and look around. Is it safe? Because that's really what you're doing. Is it safe for me to speak? It's safe for you to speak with some people, but not everybody. There's things that I will not say. There's part of me that I will not open up to just anybody. I will not, because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want my feelings hurt. Nobody wants their feelings hurt. No one wants to ignore them as if you don't matter. Your feelings don't matter. And no one wants to express their feelings when you don't know if the other person wants to hear your feelings. Really, love is a very sensitive subject. It's very delicate. Love is very precious. Um, it's very rare. It's very rare to see somebody letting the love come out of their being because of the attacks, because you're going to get things that are going to come against it, and going to want to you're going to get things that are going to come against it and are going to want to attack the love on the inside of you. And you've got to guard your heart at all costs. Guard it. Guard it with your as if your very life depended on it, because it does. It's that spirit within inside of you. It's your essence. It's who you are. Guard it. Guard it. If you didn't know, love is the most important thing on this earth to me. Right here. Right there. And I'm going to look very intently for it in others. I'm going to see if I can find it, see if I can feel the frequency. I am going to search for it. Some people spend their whole entire life searching for love, and they never find it. They may find cheap imitations of it. They may. And they may find some that lasts for a moment, then it just fizzles out. Sometimes it doesn't last forever, but true love lasts forever. That agape love will last forever. It'll never go away. It will never fail you. If it's true, true, true from the heart, it will never go away. It will never fail you. It will always be there to protect you, to preserve you, to guard you. It'll sustain you. It will sustain you through everything, through thick and thin. It's really, when I think of love, there's nothing on this earth that could ever compare to it. Nothing. God is love. And there's no amount of money that could even buy it. None. It's something you cannot buy. You can't. You can't buy it. It's rare. If you find it, you have found the most rarest thing that has ever existed and that ever will exist. If you find it, yeah. The love on the inside, it comes from the Creator. Okay, right there. It's your essence connected with the Creator. You're part of that love. You are that love right there. And it's rare. It's really, really rare. Get you some love on the inside of you all. Get it. Make it grow. Water it and nurture it. Nurture that love on the inside of you. Let it grow. You can do it, you all. It's like the song, looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for too many faces to what I'm looking for. Now that I found a friend and a lover, whatever the day that I discover, looking for love, looking for love. Yeah, I remember that song. I liked that song, Frank Cooper, honey. That song has not entered my mind until you just now popped it on here. I remember that from years and years and years ago. Jay Jocelyn, honey. Gina, honey, you talk way too mellow. They're rich to profit, honey. It came out when country music was still good. They had really good country songs. You know, this is one of my favorite songs. I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, you all. One of my favorite songs that I heard. I'm not going to say it. I'm too embarrassed and shy to say it. I am. It's kind of intimate, but it's a country song, but it's not intimate. It's like inappropriate. It's very delicate. This would be the ultimate. Would, let me see this. You all, now you're grown adults. You're grown adults. We're going to look at the lyrics of this song. Okay. I'm going to show it's like, wow, that would be the ultimate. If you could find the ultimate, but nothing's perfect in this world, you all. It is not perfect. It's kind of embarrassing. I really am kind of embarrassed, you all, Gina. Now, see, I'm being open with you. I'm being open. I'm taking a chance. I'm making myself very vulnerable on here, you all. Very, very, very vulnerable. Ugh. I'm gonna flip it. I am. I'm gonna flip it. This is the song right here. If you're a woman or a man, you can realize, you can listen this. Would you lay with me in a field of stone? If my needs were strong, would you lay with me? Should my lips grow dry, would you wet them, dear? In the midnight hour, should my lips grow dry? Would you go away to another land, walk 1,000 miles through the burning sand? Wipe the blood away from my dying hand if I give myself to you. Will you lay with me in the stream of life when the moon is full? Will you bathe with me? Will you love me now when I'm down and out in my time of trial? Will you stand by me? Would you go away to another land, walk 1,000 miles through the burning sand? Wipe the blood away from my dying hand if I give myself to you. Would you lay with me in a field of stone? If my needs were strong, would you lay with me? That's my most favorite intimate song. That's my dream. It's a dream. That's in another lifetime, you all, right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. That's right, you all. It's my favorite. It's embedded within my mind, that song right there. To me, I think every woman or every man, that's really what you would want. If you could get in touch with those feelings on the inside of you, that would be the ultimate. Really. That is love beyond love is what it is. It is. It's like the greatest love right there, you are. Would you lay with me right there? Gina, honey, why you want to do that? It is extremely deep CS. Some people would say I would, but I don't know how. I would love to be able to if it was in somebody, you all, because we've been told to be afraid. We're not supposed to express our feelings. Really, you're not supposed to think that way. You're not supposed to go deep within your being. You don't talk about feelings. They're nothing. Of course, they're something. They're just feelings. Who sung it? I think it was um Tanya Tucker. Wide Open Country. She might have been the one who wrote it. Maybe somebody else wrote it. I don't know who wrote it. Who wrote it? Would you lay with me? You can find it, but I like the one with Tanya Tucker in it. It's my favorite. It is. Beautiful. It's beautiful. We can dream about it. We can. In the crevices of our mind, we can dream about it. David Allan Coe sang that. Yeah, he's on here too. David Allan Coe, 1975. That's right. We got all the singers, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash. They all liked it. They all liked it. George Jones wrote it. That's right. So now we know who who sung it and who wrote it. That's right. Dolly Parton, they probably all did it. They probably all did it. They all sung it. You all, this video has gone on for 70 minutes and 45 seconds. And there will be people who do not make it to the end of this video and they will not hear the song that I sung. Is my favorite song. Oh, you all have a blessed day too. I feel a lot better being on here. I do. It's great. It's great to have some conversation. Yeah, Casey Jones, Floyd Kramer played it. Wow. You don't hear music like that. Apple Brooks, honey, hello. You do not hear music like that anymore nowadays. You don't. It's like void of that depth right there. Void. That's right. Too bad for them. That's right. You all, Super Kitty, honey, Gina, got to go. I am going to go. I'm going to go down there and get me something to drink. As you can tell, I don't need any coffee or anything like that because I'm wide awake. Didn't need any of that. All I needed was some love on the inside of here and some one-on-one time with the YouTube and you all. That's right. That's all I needed to wake me up. I'm going to go. So with that being said, hello. Wherever you are, that's great, AZ Angel. Wherever you are in any part of the world, hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the part of this video where I sung that song, and I'm going to put it in the description. At time marker, would you lay with me? I'm going to put it there. So that song can be heard because you will not, I don't think you'll hear me saying it again. It was only a spur of the moment. I only did it because I felt led within my spirit to sing it. You all, we got it. We're going to go, you all. Love you.